Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to learn the technical job. Don't worry, it's not any rocket science, but the simple principles to make time management easy. So we'll start with the first quick overview of what we learned in the last session. Then we'll learn about the science-based principles of time management, Pareto Rule, the ABC analysis, and Parkinson's Rule. So, in the last session, we learned about goal setting, why and how to do it. We also learned about the SMART goals and goal pyramids, Covey's 4 quadrant by Stephen Covey, and the habit tracker. I hope you all have started with filling your habit trackers. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. So, keep filling your habit tracker. So let's get started. The principles of time management. You can't make up for the lost time, but you can do better in the future. Any science follows few principles, and as time management is itself a science, it also follows some fundamental principles. Today we will learn about most important principles in the classic time management. So first we'll take up the Pareto rule or 80-20 rule. This rule was formulated by Italian economist and sociologist Vilfredo Federico Pareto, and according to this rule, we can obtain 80% of the results in 20% of the time. In the context of the time management, the Pareto principle means that if you want to make the most of your time, you need to know that typically 20% of your activities and tasks are so critical that they contribute about 80% of the total success of your work. This means that the remaining 80% of the time yields only 20% of the result. So the yield and effort is 80 to 20. So for this reason, Pareto principle is also called 80-20 rule. So are you getting that in your whole day, it's only 20% of the tasks that are contributing any value addition to your life goal? So, identify your strengths and weaknesses and recognize the success factor that will enable you to reap 80% of your success using the Pareto principle with only the 20% of time management. Now, let's take few examples. When we are at job, in meetings, 80% of the decisions are usually made in 20% of the time. We all know this. And rest of the 80% goes into unwanted discussions and arguments. Now if we talk about your desk work, 80% of your tasks are done in 20% of the time. I think you all will agree to me. Now let's take an example of this principle in your daily life. Very common. We usually wear only 20% of the clothes we own. And only 20% of the leisure activities we do, they provide almost 80% of the desired rest. So basically, if we focus on the 20% of most yielding tasks, we will achieve 80% of our goals. Now comes how to apply this rule in our life. Here's what you should in order to effectively apply the 80-20 rule to set SMART goals which will boost your overall productivity. How to find out the 20% of those tasks that are yielding the most 80% of the success? So first, take a piece of paper and write down 10 goals or 10 tasks which you have to do on that day. Then ask yourself, if you could only accomplish one of the goals on that list today, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on your life? Then pick the second most important goal. What you'll find is, after you complete this exercise, you will have determined the most important 20% of your goals that will help you more than anything else. You should continue to work at these two goals that you have chosen as the most valuable all the time. The most valuable tasks you can do each day are often the hardest, most complex, but the payoff and the reward for completing them can be tremendous. The rule for this is resist the temptation to clear up the small things first. So basically what you have to do, you have to find out one or two most important tasks of the day. focus on them, finish them so that you can yield most of the results of the particular day. So in the next video, I'll also share the 2 more principles that will help you to understand this and how to use this time effectively.